Online school is an increasingly common sight all around the world, and as someone who sat most of their last year of high school, including all those exams, in online school, in an online situation, I had some tips that I thought I'd like to share with you guys so you guys can make the most out of your time at home. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Darren, a first year medical student studying at Monash University here in Melbourne, Australia. Recently I've been preparing for my first set of uni exams, which are happening in about 2 weeks' time. I have two sets of exams, one on the first half of semester, one on the second half of semester. So I've been preparing for those pretty hard because during the semester I didn't push as hard as I did in say in year 12. So as online school is a common sight for all uni students or high school students at this point in time, especially for people in Melbourne. We're sort of seemingly going in and out of lockdowns all the time. And I think I made the most out of my time in online school by making mistakes. Like there were times in online school, especially the first time Victoria went into lockdown last year, I sort of let myself go a little bit. But through that experience, I think I really developed ways to make the most out of online school and not to be. And I understand the feeling of it being like very draining. You're sitting at home and this is the screen the whole time. But today I'd like to give you guys three tips, three things that you can implement into your school lives to get the most out of your time at home. To get the most out of your time sitting classes at home. Tip number one is a tip that's true for all of studying, but in particular online school, and that is to keep your phone away. So I have a drawer there, and usually when I study, and particularly when I was in online school, I try and keep my phone there. The phone is really distracting. I don't use my phone like a ton. For entertainment, I usually use my laptop a bit more for YouTube and stuff. But I know a lot of people, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, all those things, the phone is really magnetizing in that sense. And so I'd really advise you to keep your phone away so you can concentrate in class. I find that it's so much more worthwhile just paying attention in class and being productive then. That saves a lot of time later on, rather than sort of multitasking and spending a lot of time on your phone, and then you sort of feel guilty for not paying attention in class, and then you have to study up more afterwards to make up for it. So keep your phone in another room, keep it in a drawer, wherever it is, out of sight. There's enough distractions already that we're on our laptops. You can go to Google Chrome, go to different tabs, still message people, but that's a bit harder to counteract. So I'd say the biggest benefit that you can implement here is to just put your phone away and at least keep that out of the distractions of your time at home. My second tip is to turn your camera on in class. Now, I've sort of seen this med's alright, pretty good actually, in terms of when we have classes, tutorials, everyone basically has their camera on. But I've heard in other courses and also in high school, not many people have their camera on. Now, I don't really know why this is. I know it can be daunting when no one else has their camera on to turn it on, but I feel like there's this weird culture now of seeing how many things you can do with your camera off. So one person's like, okay, I was in bed the whole class, and another person I was cooking during class, and another person might be saying how they went out shopping in class and just had their camera off. I don't really get what's so I don't get how there's anything to be proud of there. It's a bit weird. I think turning your camera on has a lot of benefits. One is you pay attention in class. It helps much more in that respect. Really helps you get the most out of your class time. And also, it's really considerate of the person who's giving the lecture or teaching your class as well. Because it's really, really demoralizing for teachers when they're sitting there for an hour and there's they're seeing nothing. They're just speaking into a void. They don't get any feedback facially, and not many people even contribute. So in that sense, it's also considerate as well. So I think those two benefits are pretty big ones if you want to do better in your studies and also just show a bit of empathy to other people, which is why I highly encourage you to turn your camera on. Once again, I don't know why there's this weird culture of not having your camera on and doing as many non-academic things as possible, but camera on keeps you accountable, which is really helpful during online school and helps you be more attentive and earn better results. Tip number 3 is less study orientated, but it's during recess and lunch or break times that you have. Go outside, don't stay in your room. Don't just like exit Zoom, leave meeting, and then go straight into watching YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, or whatever. I made that mistake quite a bit in the first lockdown of last year, and I found that like once I went back to class, I just felt really drained. So I didn't feel like I got much of a break. It's like I stared at a big screen for ages. Now I stared at a small screen for 45 minutes, and we're back to the big screen again. So it just felt like really tiring for me, and much didn't feel like the day was broken up into segments. Rather, everything just melted into each other. So I highly recommend you just go outside for a walk. As far as I know, I think most lockdowns you can go outside. If you can't even do that, then just leave your room and just walk around the house as well. I think the sort of fresh air, fresh environment, even just the movement helps a lot in terms of resetting your brain, re-energizing yourself so that you're feeling better for classes later on in the day. Thank you guys for tuning in to today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Really, online school is really tough, and it's a whole different game in terms of how you can do well and how you can get the most out of each day. And so those three things I highly recommend. One, keep your phone away, keep distractions away. Two, have your camera on. Like, I understand, and I found this as well, it's really, really difficult to turn your camera on when no one else has their camera on. But as some of my uni friends can attest, I have done that. I have been the only one apart from the lecture with my camera on, and it's like not that daunting. I know some people might not do it because of how they think other people might think of them, but I just don't think that's something to worry about. You're demonstrating empathy towards the people who's presenting, you're keeping yourself accountable, making sure you're focused. So I highly recommend it, and I encourage you guys to sort of go out into your school and to be those people who have your camera on, who are paying attention. Maybe get your mates to get their cameras on as well. And it's definitely a very rewarding thing, and as most rewarding things go, it is tough at the start, and it is tough to do at the start. And so the last tip was to just go outside during breaks, make sure you're actually having a break in those times and removing yourself from screens so that you can reset for the next couple of classes. So online school is tough, lockdown is hard, everything's just changed up now, but I hope those three ways, I encourage you guys to implement them. I think for me, they definitely just made me more energized each day in online school. I remember sometimes it felt like the days would just melt into each other. I think doing that made me feel like I was engaging with each day more, made me feel I was more productive, and in the end gave me the energy to study better and earn like really good results at the end of the day. So good luck for your assessments that are coming up. Hopefully after, especially in Melbourne, after this lockdown, extended lockdown, we won't have to go into other lockdowns later on, but who knows. Anyway, I hope you guys implement these tips, and I look forward to seeing you all next time.